I don't know. I don't know if anybody's going to show up, but it was interesting getting a death threat.
Yeah.
They're really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really stupid to give me a death threat because number one,
Hey.
they don't know who I am. Because if anyone really did want to come and get me, they probably wouldn't make it very far into my house.
Who's threatening you, man?
I don't know, some jerk.
Oh, Lord. I feel like a techno king tonight.
All right.
Like I understand computers and headphones.
Yeah.
Joe, we just spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out why Rich was silent.
Yeah.
It's because my headphones were plugged in, but not on my ears.
That'll do it.
Yep, that'll do it.
Definitely.
So, I'm a genius.
Hey, you figured it out, man. You know. Hey.
Yeah, but it took a while. It took way longer than it should have.
Yeah, I was messaging him. I'm like, can you hear me? Eli's trying to talk to him.
I'm just bebopping along. Like, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
So far, how's it going for y'all?
It's going.
Going. I agree. It's going.
Unison. It could be a song, background vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last night, I got an email from this new teacher. It's her first year teaching. It'll be, and they're going to put her in the freshman wing, and good luck. And she was asking me about information because I'm, the department chair now. It's kind of my job. And she wanted to know about the English department as a community. And I showed that to my wife, and my wife says, just send back, I hope you can dodge a wrench. I'm like,
you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
That's right.
Yeah.
I figure that's pretty accurate for my department.
Right on.
It's all fun and games to get hit by the wrench.
Yep. Then it depends on who you are. I mean, if you're watching, it might be pretty fun, but.
So, we just learned today that Bon Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before he was in AC/DC. Was a backup singer for the Valentines.
How the hell did that work?
Not well.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, be like, yeah, what? No.
I'm trying to remember the song.
He's got a very unique voice.
Right? Well, as a lead, your voice would probably be different than if you're trying to harmonize.
Yeah. True. Baby. Tomorrow night, Monday. Hooray! I hope they do a good job, man. Shit. I hope it's a good concert. I said, I hope they do a good job, man.
Well, I hope they do a good job too, for your sake.
Me too.
I'm stenciling before I do anything today, so I did stencil castle in the background really quickly and roughly. This is going to take a little bit more time, so hopefully I can get started on it. But if not, at least the stencil will be done.
Right. Yeah. Oh man, I scored a original Boba Fett action figure
Oh yeah,
from the first series.
like the very first, like 1970 whatever, or
Yes.
1980 for
Yep.
Boba Fett's probably 1980 something.
I think 77, right?
He's
Was
out.
Well,
that the first movie?
Boba
Or
Fett wasn't around then.
No.
I can't remember if he made an appearance in the first movie or if he just
No,
Nope.
was in Empire.
he was
Not
in
until
Empire.
Empire.
So that would be early 80s because it was the same year as Ghostbusters.
Yeah. He's out of the package and he's kind of in rough shape, but I'm like, you know what? That's fine with me. I just think it's cool as hell to have. So,
Remember when we were collecting them?
yeah.
I
I
got
wish
that
we
rare saber tooth.
Yeah, I wish we still had all that shit. Snaggletooth, you mean?
Yeah, did I say
Yeah,
saber
yeah.
tooth?
Yeah.
Thinking I'm mixing Marvel up to Star Wars. Because, you know, they're owned by the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm waiting for him to have a crossover, you
Oh, it's probably coming already.
know? Wow.
Did you know that the Edmund Fitzgerald, you can't dive on it?
You can't dive on it.
Nope, you can't dive on that site
Why not?
because it's been declared a graveyard because the bodies have not decomposed.
Ah, all right.
It's in Lake Superior and the water is so cold and so whatever
Yeah.
that it's the bodies from like the 70s are still there.
Why don't they bring the bodies up and bury them? That would be
They
the
chose
respectful
not
thing you
to.
could do.
I think they brought the bell up
Alright.
and made a memorial of it.
Mm.
Are the things we talk about.
Yeah. You know. It's
Right,
all
you're a moviegoer. Did you watch anything interesting?
I saw Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Part 1.
Yeah,
wasn't any good.
I enjoyed it.
I
Yeah.
heard it was pretty good, actually. Yeah. Joe
Oh,
yeah.
Gesco, I think, was talking about it, and he was saying that he really enjoyed what Tom Cruise was doing
Right.
and the way that they're pulling the old characters in, Ving Rhames and most of the old characters from the earlier movies.
All right.
So it interests me. Brett, you saw it, so how do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, I don't know much. I mean, yeah, they had Ving Rhames and they had
What's up, Mark? Sorry.
Hey,
what's his name? Simon Pegg. But other than that, oh, they had the British chick, whatever her name was, who I do like. But that's about it for old characters.
Huh.
And well, I guess
I
they had
thought I
another
saw-
one.
I thought I
No,
saw
they
it
also-
in the cast.
They had there was a girl the one of the girls from the last film made another appearance, kind of big. But you know, I mean, a lot of those old ones died. Now, and Jeremy Renner wasn't in this one.
Yeah, well, well, you know, he's trying to recover and be able to walk.
All right.
Whatever.
Mark
Tom
said
Cruise
he
would have done
can't.
it.
What's that?
Tom Cruise could have done it. Been hit by a snowplow and still made the movie. But
I like Tom Cruise, so you know.
so do I. But I've always liked
Esai
Renner's character.
Morales. Esai Morales was in it. That's cool. I haven't seen him in a while.
Okay.
Mark says he can't hang around long, but it's good to see us.
Nicholas Hoult, Angela Bassett,
Have a good one, bro.
Carrie Elwes.
Angela
there's a
Bassett
lot
was
of
in
names
that?
in it. Huh?
I don't remember her being in it.
Carrie Elwes?
No, you said Angela Bassett.
Yep. Angela Bassett. Let me see what it says under her name. Nope, it just says her name. So she might have been in passing or a photo or whatever.
Oh, that could be, but
Um, or she might have been a voice actually too.
yeah, it could have been, or it might have been
Okay,
something
man.
from a previous. I mean, they kind of mentioned some of the stuff, but whatever. I mean, basically, at its heart, it's a MacGuffin story. I mean, they're just you have to. I mean, literally, you have to find the key. They don't even know what the key goes to. Um, so, I mean, there's
From
why
what
does it
I
need to be
hear,
part?
this most of the first half of the movie is set up,
Yeah,
and that it's clearly part one of two parts.
yeah.
So I
Which,
mean,
but it
that's
has
probably why.
it has a decent ending. I mean, obviously, they're like, oh yeah, it's still moving on, but um, whatever. It's got action. You never know who you can trust or who. Yeah, I mean, it's just classic Mission Impossible. It's not a bad one. I mean, I would recommend it.
Cool.
I talked to my mom yesterday, and she's not a real. She doesn't like Tom Cruise anymore because of all the Scientology stuff. And I'm like, well, he doesn't espouse it in his films, and compared to a lot of the woke Hollywood stuff, he's avoiding it. So I will support that.
One of the things that I really like about Tom Cruise is I don't give a shit about his religion. I think you don't judge people on their religion, whether you believe that they're believing crazy or not. Like I know people that are believing in Viking mythology all of a sudden, and that's their religion or whatever. Well, whatever. You believe what you're going to believe anyway. But as a person, like when he did The Last Samurai,
Yeah.
in the extended edition, they interviewed his Japanese co-stars, and they were talking about how much he gave of himself and his extra time to help them learn to use simple things like body language and facial language and the way that they look at a certain way. And like he gave of his extra time to help those guys get better. And I think that's an admirable quality because he didn't have to.
Right on.
He didn't have any part in that. He might have been a co-producer or whatever, but he wasn't director or any of that.
Right.
So if he gave all that kind of extra time, that's admirable. I don't give a shit what he believes. I mean, unless he's hurting somebody else, and I don't think he's hurting anybody else because all the chicks that complained left. So that's a pretty good indication that he's not making them stay.
Right.
So I don't know. Like he's not my favorite actor, but I like him, and I like his work ethic. So he's in a couple of my all-time favorite movies. Like Last Samurai is one of them. The Outsiders. He's a smaller part in The Outsiders, but he's in
I hate
it.
The Outsiders. I hate it with a deep, dark, evil passion.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh,
How
I
many
hate the
times
book.
did you
I
have
hate-
to read that?
Yeah, I'm not really super fond of the book because the book is more about cowboys and Sochas or whatever. They say greasers and Sochas, but it's all about rodeo and that area of the country. So it's stuff that doesn't come through in the movie. But the movie touched the spot with me, I guess, because we grew up on the streets and that was pretty common stuff. You had to band together with people and win or lose, you were there,
Right. And
I just think you can tell the book was written by a 16-year-old girl, and it's obvious. And
What's that?
You can tell the book was written by a 16-year-old girl, and it's so juvenile. I know people love that book, but it just
It's
in
the
my
message. It's the message in it, because the message isn't about whether being a social is right, or whether being a prep is right, or whether being a greaser is right. It's about realizing the whole Stay Golden poem. That's the reality of it, is that you're golden when you're young. You're more pure when you're young, and you let the world turn you into things. You allow that kind of stuff to happen. So it's the message that attracts them. It's like Shawshank Redemption. It's not that it's a prison movie or the guy gets raped and he escapes. It's the hope that he gives to the other people, you know? It's not what Andy goes through. It's how Andy doesn't lose his hope. The message. And, you know, like, I'm not talking about message, fiction message. I'm just talking about the message, the theme behind it all.
okay.
That's why you may not like it. I understand why you don't like it, but that's why it's so popular, because there is a positive message in it.
All right.
You probably had to go over it like a million times already.
No, I do my best to avoid the hell out of that book.
Oh, all right.
I've only done it a few times, and I just, oh God.
The
There's certain
movies-
Well, I've
books.
never heard anybody hate on it before, so
Oh, I
that's
despise that
kind of
book.
interesting in its own way.
It's just so immature, and it's just I don't know. No, nah. And where I grew up, the outsiders would have been the ones doing the beatings. Like it just, you, it's
What?
just backwards. Yeah, it's just backwards to me. So I just,
I don't know about that. The outsiders would have been the ones doing the beatings.
yeah, more of those greaser types than.
Yeah, I think that you missed the title's meaning. The outsiders isn't the greasers.
Oh,
It's the people that don't fit in either way.
Yeah, yeah.
me.
Yeah, that's what the whole thing about Johnny and
Uh-huh.
Ponyboy is.
The fact that they have a group
fit
says-
into there.
Yeah, well, they have a group, therefore they fit in some place. And I just
Wait a minute. Now you're just saying like every Republican is the same. It's the same thing. Or every Democrat's the same. It's the same thing. No, it's not. They're different people, and that's the whole point, because they grow from being willing to fight and all that to finding more value in life.
okay.
That's the whole point of the story.
Right.
There's a huge character growth there. Like, they don't want to fight at the end. They don't want to be, like Ponyboy doesn't want to be in the Rumble at the end. Dally does, but Dally's doing it for his own grief. Like, it's not because they belong. Those two don't belong. Dally was saying that when he picks them up. I mean, that's the hidden message, is what kind of greaser reads books and writes poetry. And Johnny was admiring that about Ponyboy, because they didn't fit in with the other greasers. And you can see they're kind of awkward in it all the way through it, if you're actually watching for it. I think that you missed that whole point. That's the reason the title is The Outsiders, is because they don't fit into either group. They're the ones that actually cross the threshold with Cherry. Ponyboy sat in the car with one of the socias and talked it out, and the socia was like, "Oh, you're all right." So there was some kind of meeting ground in the middle. They just couldn't get past the social standards. Oh crap!
Well,
I don't know what I did.
I'm glad you like the movie or the book, but
I like the movie more than the book.
God, there's that one.
I think
There's
that's the message in the movie. I didn't find that message so much in the book. I mean, I did feel like the book was written by a teenage girl that was sick of all that crap going on around her, though.
And that right there tells you. I was like, hey, oh.
Well,
Anyway.
the book and the movie is not the same thing. That's like
Well-
Shawshank Redemption. I didn't like the short story as much as I liked the movie. Not even close.
Really? The story's great.
How about coffee?
We
You
just
guys
don't
like
always
coffee?
agree. That's okay.
I love coffee. I
Oh,
need.
sorry, Joe.
No.
I don't like coffee.
What? Oh hell, I'm hurt, man. Wow.
My wife is always like, try this coffee. I'm like, does it taste like coffee? Well, yeah. Well, then I don't like it. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, by the time coffee tastes good, it doesn't taste like coffee.
My mom got me addicted to coffee.
Oh.
She used to have me make it, and she's like, "Oh, you can get a cup if you want." I'm fucking 6 years old. I'm like, "All right, mom."
Well, it's probably healthier than all the pop I drink. So
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if there's a lesser of two evils there.
I drink one iced coffee a day and a lot of water and some lemonade. I used to drink Powerade Zero. Then I figured out how much sodium is in it, so I'm trying to not intentionally intake that much sodium.
no, that's
Which
That's
sucks
funny.
because it feels like I can't drink very much or eat very much or whatever.
Have you ever seen ads for Element?
No, I haven't.
It's LMNT, and they're little drink packages.
Yeah.
Oh, I have. Okay, yeah. And they also come in a little squirt bottles and shit.
I don't think they
You
come
add
in.
them
Well,
to
I haven't
your
seen
water?
squirt bottles. I've just seen the packs.
All
You
right.
know.
Yeah.
But those things, a friend of mine who's a health nut, and I really do mean he's a nut. I was having a cramp working out with him, and so he gave me. He fixed the glass of it's called orange salt. It's got 1,000 milligrams of salt in it.
Mm.
And at first I was like, that's disgusting. I'd rather just have the cramp. But then it kind of grew on me. So then I drank the whole
Potassium
thing.
is better for cramps.
If your body needs it,
At least
it
that's what my
tastes better.
doctor says.
Well, it's got sodium, potassium, and magnesium in it.
All right.
So
Sounds
those
like
three,
you'll fart and blow up.
what?
Sounds like you'll fart and blow up.
Blow somebody up anyway.
Like explode. Like explode soda.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Motherfucker.
I found that. I mean, it's an acquired taste.
Right.
Although if you put it in with seltzer water, you got to get a big cup because it'll make it foam real big.
Oh yeah,
But-
sure.
But it tastes just like pop to me, and I'm like, this is damn good.
Do you
I don't drink. Like if I'm working out, I'll drink it. If I start, if I start getting cramps, I'll drink some. It tends to help
Yeah.
out a lot.
Yeah, I
but
know.
bad for your heart though?
It makes me laugh. You need potassium and magnesium for your heart.
Well,
Yeah.
sodium is bad for your heart.
That's not 100% accurate because if you don't have sodium,
Go
you'll
to my
die.
heart doctor because that's what my heart doctor says. No more than so many grams. Otherwise,
Your
you
heart
can't
doctor
wait.
tried to kill you.
You do realize if you don't get sodium, you'll die, right? Like you
You
have
do
to have
realize
sodium.
sodium's in almost everything, so it's limiting
why-
your sodium.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I keep the salt lick in my room.
There you go.
I start feeling a little funny, walk up to it. Couple good licks, I'm good to go, man.
I thought you just missed the farm.
Well, that too, That's what I keep the alfalfa for.
I bought my wife a salt lick once because she would salt everything. I mean, she was salting her salad tonight. I was like, "You're
What?
salting?" Oh yeah,
Oh,
I had to salt the salad. I mean, she
My
salts
mom used to
everything.
salt everything too. Guess what she died of?
Well, I just so one year
Just
as a
saying.
joke,
Yeah.
I got her a salt lick.
Yep.
She did not find it as funny as I did.
They seldom do.
That's because you didn't get her a little mini cheese grater along with it. You're like, hey,
Oh,
just grate off what you want. You know? It's all about presentation, man.
there you go.
Do you remember the what is it? 180s?
180s.
180s. They were
360s.
was it 360?
Uh-huh.
It was an energy drink, but it was like was orange.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah.
Well, next to our shop in Thomaston, we used to go over and get them, like me and one other employee, and we used to drink so many of them. We order them by the case from them, right?
Okay.
They told us after a couple of months that we alone, the two of us, were the biggest consumers of 360s in the nation.
Holy
They
shit.
gave us a sign and everything else. They gave us a lit sign, and yeah,
I'm like, shit.
that was not good for me.
Neither was getting a Christmas card.
And I didn't care. What's that?
Neither was getting a Christmas card from the pizza place.
Oh yeah, I got a Christmas card from the pizza place.
Hey,
Oh,
Satan,
nice.
Hey.
how are you?
All right.
That's good. I'm glad
Started
to
off
hear.
rough, but it's much better now.
It's been so long since I've seen your smiling face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say too.
Yeah,
Look,
I'm usually not
dum-dum.
What's that?
I said that's what I say too.
Mm.
Been so long since I've seen your smiling face.
Yeah, anyway, thanks a lot.
You are about to witness a murder.
A bunch of crows.
Apparently, I'm about to be murdered.
That's
Wow.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We'll see your hand flipping around anyway.
Here's a line, buddy.
And the wife
Maybe
said,
some-
"Get in line, buddy."
Maybe some blood splatters. You know.
Wow. Oh, okay.
You ain't the first, you'll be the last.
Yeah. Oh. Got a bigger face hugger, man. I'm pretty happy with.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Look at the detail under the bottom, man.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Well, now show it off. There you
Free.
go. That's the bigger one?
Yeah. I'll show you the
That's
small
the bigger one?
one. Yeah, well, look. Hang on. Side by side.
That's like a crawdad face hugger, right? Something you would fish for bigger face huggers with, right? You put it
Well,
on a
this
hook.
is the first face hugger I got. And I upgraded. See? Beautiful.
Lovely.
Yeah. Yay! And after they pop out of your chest, they become this guy. Hi.
Can't see him.
There we go.
Ah. He's
Yeah.
missing his top hat.
It's beautiful.
He's missing his top hat.
Wrong movie.
Oh, sorry. My mistake.
It was a great movie.
Yeah, it was. Space. Was that was Spaceballs, right? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks.
Second best Bill Pullman movie.
Yeah. The Inquisition. No, Mel Brooks was a funny motherfucker, man.
He probably still is. He's just not making movies.
I don't know, man. That dude's got to be old as dirt.
He's old, but he's still alive. He just made something on Netflix. It just didn't go over well.
No. That's
It was
because
a sequel to something. I just don't remember what.
kids today don't understand.
He's 97
So-
old.
97? Holy
What did he just put out on Netflix? Let me look that up.
I don't know. Let me look. IMDb.
I'm not sure, really.
Credits. History of the World Part 2?
Yeah, there we go.
Part 2?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I got to check that out. I don't have Netflix on.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I heard it wasn't as good as his other stuff.
Because he
But, you
probably
know,
can't
A lot
do.
of the actors that he had back then were really good, and they had really strong charisma with each other.
Yeah.
And now they're all gone. I mean, Gene Wilder's dead.
Right.
Marty Feldman's dead. Uh, uh, what's her name?
Michael,
Frau,
what's her
Frau
name?
Blucher.
Yeah.
What's her name? Cloris Leachman. She's dead.
Madeline Kahn, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think she's dead too.
Huh.
I don't know if Terry Garr's dead. I'm thinking she is too, but I might be wrong. At some point, we need to let them retire too, right?
Right.
You were here. Hello.
You hear that?
What's happening, Eli? How you doing, buddy?
Good day. Good day. Oh,
Oh, he's
corn.
breaking up some ice for cold water.
All right.
When I eat, I play.
He went out to eat to the pink place. That means
Good
we had
job.
Chinese.
I want Chinese, man.
He had
What is this?
shrimp. He had butter shrimp. He had salt and pepper shrimp. He had pork meatballs,
Meat pat. Look at that.
meat pockets.
Yeah. Fried dumplings or boiled?
What they want. I want
Uh, Pan fried, I think.
Oh, I like them. Hell yeah.
What you want?
They had two different kinds.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, they had two different kinds. He only had one. I just don't know which one.
The other
The
ones
ones
are
I tell you.
steamed, I believe.
What's that?
The other ones are steamed, I believe.
No, both of these are pan fried. They're just
Oh,
different
shit.
kinds of dumpling.
All right.
And like, I think maybe one's pork and the other one's three different meats or something like that. Those crazy Asians mixing meats that don't belong.
Hey, man. Don't knock mixing meats, man.
What's that?
Said don't knock mixing meats, man.
No, that was
I think I
that
saw
was my
that
grumpy
movie in
guy voice.
college when I was exploring.
What's that?
He said it sounds like him in college when he was exploring.
Mixed meats.
Ah,
I've always had mixed meat, so you know.
Oh.
yeah, I wasn't into sword fighting. I've never been into that kind of sword fighting.
Bam, 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 bam.
Now that we're actually talking about stuff, nobody's watching.
Oh, well. They don't know what they're missing.
I know, right?
Well, they'll find out later.
Yeah, you know, when they're like, oh, look, they look like they're talking.
Yeah, right. Damn it, I missed it.
Our wise words of wisdom.
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't let your meatloaf. Yeah.
I got a thought experiment for you guys.
Uh-oh.
I thought
All
this
right.
up last night for some reason. This struck me as really important. Let's say you go to a planet and you meet these people that have only one language. And that one language is constructed of words that all end in the same vowel sound.
All right.
So
So it's
technically,
Italian?
huh?
I said so it's Italian?
Sure. But it's got to be the exact same vowel sound.
All right.
And so technically, every word rhymes.
Okay. All right.
If every word rhymes, do they know that they rhyme? Like, does rhyming exist for them?
It probably doesn't. I don't think it would because
Yeah.
it's normal,
Um,
normal speak, you know?
I think
Correct.
yes, please.
You want? Or?
Yeah.
I think their poets would try to end with a consonant or something, you know?
Well, I think
Something out of norm. I don't know.
I don't think that's possible to begin with, but I mean if we're
Yeah,
talking reality.
it's a what if kind of deal, yo.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's possible, period, because you're talking about a world. You're not talking about like one nation.
Okay,
Yeah.
say you go to an
An
island.
entire world having one language. That's the problem with
Okay,
like,
it's
Star Trek
it's
and
an
all
island.
that.
Yeah, it's an island.
I'm sorry,
Who cares?
what? You talked over me, so I couldn't finish what I was saying. What now?
It's an island.
What?
An island. Surrounded by water. Okay. Cue the crickets.
Well, I really don't have anything to add because when I was adding, I was,
I didn't mean it. I was just letting you know it was an island. It wasn't a world.
I understood what he said. I was explaining to him why I didn't think it would work.
Oh.
I mean, you said thought experiment, and I'm thinking,
Okay, but
and I don't believe you
it's
don't
not.
in Indiana alone. At the top of Indiana, there's certain accents and there's certain local tones to the way you speak that's separate from the southern part. I'm just talking an entire planet would be difficult to have one language, let alone one type of accent, one type of whatever. I just find that hard to go off of.
Okay, fine. It's an island, a small island that's never been touched by other humans, and they all speak the same language on that one island. They've never heard anything else. All the words have to end in the same vowel sound, so it sounds like it all rhymes. Like to you and me, it rhymes. Everything rhymes. But to them, none of it rhymes. Because rhyming is a function of words that act differently than other words.
Right.
So if all the words act the same,
I don't know that that's a truism.
what?
Go ahead.
So I'm just saying, I personally, in my brain, I don't think for that group of islanders, they don't have the concept of rhyme.
Right. Because that's their normal speak.
Right. So even though rhyme is ubiquitous, it doesn't exist for them.
All right. I can dig it. Maybe it's because I don't read too. I don't know. I try not to read too far into something. I just take it at face value and kind of go with it
Okay,
there.
but when you say thought experiment, no, really, when you say thought experiment, you're supposed to be welcoming other thoughts, right?
Yeah, except for the experiment is
I
not one.
understand that I didn't come at it from the angle that you expected me to come at it from.
Yes, because you said that the basic concept of the experiment, the parameters, don't work.
Right.
I'll be right back. I got to.
And that's exactly how I feel. So if I feel that, that's part of the thought experiment.
Yes, but the thought experiment is that it does work. So is this going to happen? It's kind of like, if a tree falls.
So what you're saying is, no matter whether or not you can conceivably prove that it doesn't work, you have to pretend it does.
No, I'm saying it's not whether the thought experiment is not whether or not a group of people could develop a language that doesn't really have any kind of accents to it. It's all one ubiquitous thing. It's not. That's not the question. Okay, that's a different question. This question is simply, if this existed, does rhyme exist for them?
I think rhyme exists, it's just not as a word. It's just that just because they're no stranger to rhyme doesn't mean that they don't know that it has the same ending sound. And then what about how many syllables? And syllable will change the way some words rhyme or not too. Do you disagree? Do you think that's outside the scope of what you're asking?
I don't think syllables change the way something rhymes.
I do.
If
you've got a 3-syllable word, trying to rhyme it with a 1-syllable word, it doesn't work. The cadence is off, and that changes a little bit in the rhyme.
That's cadence. It's not rhyme. Rhyme is simply about the end vowel sound.
I understand. I'm just saying that just because they end the same doesn't mean that they necessarily rhyme.
Hi, everybody.
And words have different lengths, different syllables. If you got a 4-syllable word, it's not going to rhyme with a 1 or 2-syllable word.
Yes, it can.
Really? Because 2-syllable word, two 2-syllable words that end in the same vowel with one 4-syllable word that only ends in that vowel.
So
that could be the word in the middle. It's not the only vowel they have. It's just the only vowel they end on, correct?
Yes, but Rich, if you're studying poetry, you will find that meter, which is the count of syllables and the stressed and unstressed part, is a different thing than rhyme. Because rhyme isn't dependent upon syllables. It's only dependent upon the sound at the end. That's it. So when you say that this is a Shakespearean sonnet and it's written in iambic pentameter, that's all about syllable count. But when we talk about rhyme scheme, the A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G, that's a completely different concern. You're confusing meter with
the answer because my thought patterns are going a whole different direction.
Well, I'm just saying that. I mean, I'm not. I don't even think you're necessarily wrong. The idea that people wouldn't drop the end sound, like if it's always there, do you really need it at all anyway? And there are all kinds of linguistic questions about it, but that wasn't really the question that I was asking. That's all.
I understand. I'm just my brain works the way it works. So when you say think about something, I think about it from different angles.
Yeah, you do.
And my input is going to be from different angles. What's believable to me has a lot to do with it, Like I can't work on a hypothesis that I believe is not a possible hypothesis.
Oh, okay. Well, again, it's a thought experiment.
It's very difficult. Yeah, I know, but the key word for me is thought. It's not for you. It's thinking about one thing. That's just one thing. And language has so many, different aspects.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I can't ignore those aspects.
But
I understand that you're asking me to, but I just can't.
Okay.
I'm trying to be honest with you,
You're fine. It's just a simple, silly question. It's okay. Like, I'm not laughing at you. I mean, I'm laughing at just the situation. But I'm like, no, it's all good. It's fine. We're never gonna find an island of people that speak the same language that all rhymes. And it's okay.
Dr. Seuss might have one of those islands.
Ooh, Dr. Seuss might.
What if the island of Dr. Moreau was actually the island of Dr. Seuss?
And then it would rhyme.
How much
Oh, the
different would
species
that?
you'll be.
Oh yeah.
Then
One
it would
fish, two
rhyme.
fish, red fish.
Then everything would rhyme. That's
Rhyme,
the
right?
island that he's talking about.
Except for it doesn't rhyme enough.
Right.
With Dr. Seuss, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he has different
but
rhymes.
Dr. Seuss breaks the rules, so he can create words that don't exist to make them rhyme. So that fits
Yeah.
right into your hypothesis.
The problem with Dr. Seuss on the thought experiment was that he rhymes lots of different ways, and this is we only rhyme one.
It was a joke, man.
Yeah, I know.
It didn't work well, but it was intended to be a joke.
If we had some sound effects, some ba-dum-dum, we would know.
Yeah,
that didn't work earlier when I was doing it. Like either that or my joke just sucked. That's probably it.
Well, don't worry, dude. They can't all be zingers. I'm living proof.
Oh.
No, I'm proud of it.
Hey, the music arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I figured that it would be a good middle ground to leave things on for you to do.
Rich is like, I'm tired of this discussion. Music?
No, I'm just trying to work right now. And I don't think, I don't know, I'm not following the rules and I'm not following the thought processes, so probably better for me to just hang out and listen to you guys following the thought processes.
Nah. We're just talking shit. That's all. Filler. That's all. Entertainment.
All right, I'm not complaining. I just put the music on so that there was something else. When there's a dead silence and it's awkward, there's something else.
Yeah. I'm the king of awkward. I pride myself on it. Yeah. I know every word to this song, man.
Do you sing it often?
Yeah, man. I'll be in the
serenade
shower.
all? Yeah.
Top of my lungs, man. Just neighbors are like, what the fuck is he on? You know. Bam, bam. Yeah.
Oh, Rich, I was about to ask you what's on her forehead and realized it was on my screen.
It's a screen jewel. Yeah.
You guys, I think it was a Raid commercial. It looks like some other type of commercial, and then like a bug crawls up your screen, and oh god,
Is
it's
it
terrible.
working?
It's been a while, but they had a commercial. I think it was Raid, like the bug spray, and it
No,
was.
I thought it was the Orkin Army. I know the commercial you're talking about.
Is it Orkin?
You could be right. I'm just saying. When you said that, that's what popped into my head. Was
Oh, well, I don't know which
Orkin
one.
Army.
I don't remember what company it was. I just remember the stupid, because at first I thought, oh my god, what is on my TV? And I was always wondering, like, I wonder if anyone ever threw something at their screen. Because it looks so much like there's actually something crawling on your TV.
I did that in Florida, but there was actually something on the screen.
Oh, well,
Well, that's
Bugs are not uncommon in Florida.
wow.
fuck that. In Florida, a bug will come over and take your TV with them. They'll be like, "Oh, you ain't using this shit."
Grab some popcorn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, when I went down there the first time I heard a bug night, it kind of took me. Everybody else was used to it, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Is it like a bug zapper?
Bug night? No, it's
Oh, bug night at the restaurants.
Oh,
Where they close down the restaurants and fucking spray for any kind of fucking infestation you may have.
probably
Unregulated.
use ozone tents for that. I'm just saying you could. It'd be very effective.
Yeah.
You put a tent up, you pump it full of ozone, kills everything, kills smells, it's great. And then,
well, the thing is in Florida, like every time they open the door, cockroaches can come in because they live outside.
right,
Like they're all over. And it's not just cockroaches. They have bug season.
right.
Like they have love bugs, and they have they have 7 different bug seasons or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Palmetto bugs. They have dragonflies. They have fucking love bugs. They have
Flying
termites.
cockroaches.
Well, palmetto bugs. Yeah.
No, the little black flying cockroaches.
It's
One
wonderful.
reason not to go.
Yeah. I mean, some of the bugs here in Florida are bigger than our wildlife. Yeah.
Nice.
I thought some of the bugs were your wildlife.
Well, I mean, furry kind.
The further you get away from the city, the worse they are.
Yeah. You right.
Just to not be misleading, you know.
Yeah.
You know that? You say that because we have a bearded dragon, and my boys will buy bugs to feed it. And I'm like, why aren't you just letting it kill bugs?
Right?
No, or go out if you want to feed it crickets. Go out and get some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't want to eat dead bugs.
I mean, they like crickets. They like mealworms.
Yeah,
Shit like that.
he's fat and spoiled. That's all there is to it.
Of course.
And he has a lizard. So
I see what you did there. Good place, good place.
I was looking at a couple of those. I think she fell in love with a snake at one point.
Well, I love
I'm not
all
really
the
a snake person, but
reptiles. Are just they
I
happen
know
to be
you
my-
were, so
Yeah,
I think it was actually a rat snake too.
yeah. It was albino red rat.
No, the one that she was checking out.
Oh, okay.
She was checking one out at a pet store.
All right.
Like there was a ball python, and I think there was a rat snake. But it made me think of you because you had that albino one.
Yeah, man. That was my baby. Name him North American nipple snake, because You like to crawl down my girlfriend's shirt all the time.
Oh,
Very smart snake. I'd have been there all the time too, but that's kind of looks bad in public. You know, it's not very well accepted.
Unless you're gay.
Yeah, well, you know, I wasn't
Then
gonna
you can
go
do that
there.
shit anywhere you want to.
that's what oppression looks like.
Mhm.
You can do whatever you want, and other people would get in trouble for it, but you don't. You're oppressed.
Right? Yes, yes.
Yeah, right.
He made a face. You damn right I made a face.
Yeah, they took some poll. Of course, you know you got to realize polls are bullshit. They only matter with the amount of people that you're asking. So you can go to a hipster crowd and basically take a poll and you're going to get hipster results.
Right.
But they took a poll that Gen Z or whatever the hell the generation is now feels that there should be a criminal penalty for misgendering somebody.
Well, those people are idiots. So
Oh, I agree.
No,
But
not so.
I agree.
I think there ought to be a penalty for stupid ass people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah, but then who are you going to get to exact it?
You can't get anybody because who the fuck knows what they're talking about anymore? Anyway, everybody thinks they're right and they have a reason to back up that, whether it's wrong or not.
I still blame Burger King.
If they do it like you do it,
My way, right away. This whole generation's my way, right away. My best life. Everything that I like. Everything that's not what I like is toxic. Like
Yeah.
they're using words that they don't really understand the usage of to be selfish.
well, you know, it's okay.
But they want to force you into not being selfish for their causes.
yeah.
So that's like I actually was talking with my doctor about that today. She had some interesting insights. She was talking about a comedian that apparently was big, but I missed. I'm not surprised because if you know me, you know that it takes me a while to catch on to certain popular things.
Right, right.
And she was talking about this comedian that was telling a bit about this guy that's walking over on the Golden Gate Bridge and somebody's about ready to jump off and kill themselves and they're ready to jump off and kill themselves because somebody told them they're horse-faced or whatever, and they're looking down and he's all like, "What's up? Yeah, well, I have a long face," you know. And then it was like, I'm a Baptist, and then they were like, I'm a Baptist too. And he was like, "Are you Northern Baptist or Southern Baptist?" And they were like, "Northern Baptist." And he's like, "Me too." And they went through all these things, and it was like, "Oh, me too, me too, me too." And then it was like, Are you this sect of Northern Baptists? And they were like, "No." And he's like, "Die." That's today in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not what I want, you can jump.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, well, you know, it's. I think it's pretty much like a Mitch Hedberg type of thing. You know, you have the Ed and Fred horoscope.
yeah.
You remember the Ed and Fred horse joke, right?
No.
Ed and Fred were racehorses. Anybody?
Don't
Remember
ring a
that?
bell.
Ed and Fred were racehorses. And Ed had never won a race, and Fred had won every race that he had ever been in. And Ed was worried that he would never go to horse heaven. So Fred's like, all right, look, next time I'll let you win. And they're going around the track, and they're neck and neck, and Fred pulls out because it's natural. And then just before the last turn, he slows up and he lets Ed pass him. And then just before they cross the finish line, Fred zips by, wins the race. Well, Ed's disappointed and he kind of hangs his head. And they go back into the stall, and Fred's like, "Look, I'm sorry, it's just in the blood. I'll get you the next time." So the next time comes around, and basically the same thing happens. And the third time they attempt it, they're walking back, and Ed's hanging his head, and there's this dog, and he goes, I think that horse is fucking with you." And then Ed looks at Fred and goes, "Oh, look, a fucking talking dog."
Yeah. I got a joke. This guy with no arms, he walks into a town and he's like, "Hey, look for a job. Can anybody hire me?" Everybody was uncomfortable because he didn't have arms. So they sent him to the church, and he went up to the church and he's like, "Hey, Father, I know I don't have any arms, but could you help me out with a job?" And the father goes, "You know what? We've been looking for a bell ringer up in the steeple. Do you think you can handle that?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I can do that. So his first day, he wakes up, goes on down to the church, and the preacher, he goes, "How you gonna do this?" He's like, "Just watch." So 1 o'clock came around, so he came out of his room, climbed up the stairs, stepped back a little bit, ran towards the bell, bong, hit it with his face. Bam, 1 o'clock. So the priest, he's impressed. He's like, good job. And this went on for a couple of days. Every hour, on the hour, he'd run out of his room, go up the steps, take a couple steps back, bong, hit it as many times as the hour of the day. Well, this one day he woke up. It was almost 1 o'clock. So he's going up the steps. He takes a step back. He runs full force towards the bell, and whoa! He misses the bell. He lands on the ground. He dies. Everybody outside's crying, "Oh my God. They're like, "Did anybody know this man's name?" And this guy jumps up and he goes, "I don't know his name, but his face rings a bell."
Nice.
Thank you. I'll be here all day. But I'm big.
The guy with the go-kart.
What's happening, Mom?
Your joke, the guy with the goat cart.
Well, yeah. Little old guy sitting on a cart getting pulled by a goat. And he's like, "Giddy up, dope." And he's going down the
He got a
road.
speech impediment.
Yeah. And he comes up to a girl and he's like, "Stop, dope." And he's like, "Hey, Daryl, get in, Daryl." She jumps in. He's going down the road. He's like, "You do it, Daryl?" She's like, "No, you're a pervert." He's like, "Stop, don't get out, Daryl." Goes down the street. Comes to the next woman. He's like, "Stop, don't get in, Daryl." She jumps in. They're talking on, and he's like, "You do it, girl?" She's like, "No, you're a pervert. Let me out." He's like, "Stop, don't." Looks at the goat. He's like, "Get in, dope." Wow. Or the Indian that was standing outside of the cigar shop. Every time a girl walked by, he'd be like, "Champs."
Yeah.
She walked up. A girl walked up to him one day, and she's like, "Every time you see a pretty girl, you put your hand up and you say 'Champs.' Aren't Indians supposed to say 'how'?" He's like, "Me know how. Me just want champs." Yay! Boom, boom. Let's
Right.
get in trouble with everybody.
And then the second part where she's like, "Oh dear," and he's like, "No, that's too high. One too fast."
Mm. Oh man!
See, even the different wouldn't have made a difference.
Oh, boom, boom.
We lost a viewer.
Bye, viewer. It's okay. I'm American Indian. I have Cherokee in my blood, so I'm not offending anybody. I'm like, whatever.
Right?
Now I feel like that French Indian dude that got the trash thrown at him. That you have the tear coming down my eyes.
Oh, that guy was Italian. He wasn't even Indian.
Italian, not French. That's
Yeah, that dude was Italian.
yeah.
He just played an Indian.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little Lakota in my Lakota seed. I don't know where it came from exactly because I've heard one thing and then another thing. But I'll take it or leave it. You know,
Right on.
ain't enough that I'm gonna get a grant or anything. So, and I don't look like I am, so they probably wouldn't be all like, "Oh, hey, come powwow," or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm a respecter of all people. It's never a judgment of race. Because I don't believe that there's more than one race, just human. Like, as far as among us bipedals who speak.
Mm.
I think that there's far too much concern with ethnicity and not personality.
Yep. That's because they can't get past the first barrier. They can't get past fucking face value.
Right, it's the people that bitch that somebody else isn't doing it enough who do it the most.
Yeah. Because
By doing that. you
they're
know?
pointing out the difference that they're trying to protect. Or protect.
Well, that, and you don't need my help. You know what I mean? You lived your life all your life. Now I'm gonna help you because I'm white and I can tell somebody off. Whatever. If color was an obstacle to you before, you've overcome it already. Otherwise, you'd be dead, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They just mad because we saved money going to the tennis line. We don't do that shit. I don't know. I've always thought it was stupid. People are people. I don't care what color you are.
Right.
If you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. You can be.
That's it. It's personality.
Yeah.
The only time I ever use color, only time that I ever use color as a
When
is
you're
as a
painting.
descriptor. That's it. If there's a black guy and two white guys in a room, and somebody doesn't know any of them, and they're looking for somebody, I'm going to tell them it's either the white guy or the black guy, or the white guy that's standing over there, or the bald white guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's a descriptor. I don't give a shit if he is or not. Like, I'm not holding it against him, but that's it. Only a descriptor. You know that, like we were raised together. There's not a prejudice bone in my body.
Mine either.
Right, and if anyone had cause to, you could have cause to, because you've had it from both ends.
What? Wait. I'm not into that. Like, yeah, but
I didn't say you were into it. I said you did.
okay. I was only kidding. Oh, it's funny. Yeah. It was ridiculous growing up, though. I was too white for the black kids and too black for the white kids. I don't know. I was just kind of there. But you know, it's all right.
God,
I didn't realize I was different until fucking 5th grade. I come back
middle
from
school.
Yeah, I came back from summer vacation. All of a sudden, people were saying different shit. And, I mean, people that were my friends for years, and all of a sudden, they were using these words I've never heard before. You know?
Right, and they obviously didn't come from them.
So I asked my mom what they meant, and she was like, "Oh, they're just ignorant, blah blah blah." I'm like, "But they've been my friends." Couldn't understand, but now I'm like, "Oh, no. People are stupid."
Wizard's first rule. That was Wizard's first rule in the book. Wizard's first rule. People are stupid. I love that because, like, when we used to, in the shop, people used to come in and ask dumb questions all the time, like incredibly dumb questions all the time.
Like, do you have ready?
Instead of being mean to them, we would just look at each other and go, "Wizard's first rule."
Right.
Wizard's second rule is people want to be tricked. And if you think about it, that's how a con man makes his living. People want to be tricked.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh shit! Not quite. I missed the line. That's a. Wow. I'll be right back. I gotta grab a pencil.
All right. I'm going to take this dog out real quick. I shall return.
It's going to be my show now. Yeah.
Hey, it's the Brett Show.
What's up, Brett? Yeah.
We do nothing.
Woohoo.
It could be your show for
I'm going to
$49.95.
comb my beard.
Hey, there you go. That's entertainment.
That's what will I find? Will it be part of lunch? Will it be part of breakfast?
Shall I switch the focus over?
There's my keys. I found my keys.
Yeah. Hey, there's my kid I lost.
Hang in there, little buddy. I'll comb you out in a minute.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll be right back. Wow, wow.
Sorry to ruin your thought experiment.
You're fine.
Guess I don't do so good with boundaries like that. If I gotta be honest, I don't think I ever really did.
Did the face transfer?
It's really, really light looking because of how dark it is.
Okay.
And that's actually what I'm doing right now, going over with the pencil, because when I'm talking and I stop, I don't know where to pick it up from, because this is a copy, so it's dark already.
Right.
So I thought these were out, but then I'm like, no, it's taped down, so I couldn't just lift it up and check. Fortunately, I'm the artist, so, you know. If I make a little change here and there, it's all in the process, right? One of these days I'll be good enough where I don't have to stencil, but I'm kind of control freak, so I want to have exactly the amount of information I want. And that's what's going on here, is that I'm trying to get an exact notion. Really hard to see when I'm going over the darker areas of the paint anyway.
Right.
Like all of this is in, but you can't see it very well because it's a dark blue background, and that's what I ran into with Cthulhu, which is why I wanted to wait to worry about darkening stuff too much. And then I ended up darkening right in the middle of where I was putting her, but I want to stick with pretty close with the rule of thirds. I want her to be a third in. And it's about a third from the top where her face is. She's about a third of the way in. It's a little bit lower than that where her boots are, but they're going to fade away into shadow right around the third mark.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much not for you. It's for anyone that's watching that doesn't know. There's a few people that are watching that have signed up to the channel or whatever that not only you know, they are very talented artists and very skilled artists. I'm really reluctant to just use the word talent because sometimes that's an insult.
Okay.
Talent implies that you didn't work for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And skill implies that you absolutely did work for it, learned it the hard way. Wow, I really can't see that very well. I ran into the same problem with Cthulhu. Can you see your face a little better? Probably can't, huh?
Well, it's yeah, you can. It's just hold on a second. I can make this easier on myself. Oh yeah, my screen. I had split my screen, and it's. I mean, it's a decent sized screen. It's wider, about as wide as my shoulders. So then I was trying to look at it in the tiny view, and I was like, you know, if I made this bigger, all that technology that I know how to use.
Oh. Yeah, I'm in kind of the same boat.
Are you going to watch Oppenheimer?
I don't know. I don't really have any feelings about it either way. I don't watch very many movies in the theater anymore because I really don't get out by myself, and my wife doesn't like theater very much.
No.
Like once in a while, I'll find something that she's interested in, but it's not really very often. At least not often enough to go to the theater. Like she'll be interested enough to watch it on Hulu or Netflix or Amazon or something like that, but she's never really been a big theater goer. I think the last time that she went to the movies, it was to see the Freddie Mercury movie.
That might have been the last time my wife went. Well, I mean, she can watch them, but she had a stroke, and one eye is just, it's not easy for her to watch something that she actually has to pay attention to.
I didn't know that.
So,
She's looking remarkably well for someone that had a stroke. How recent was that?
a couple years ago.
Oh, so before she friended me.
No, it was after that. It was probably about 2 years, like literally just 2 years. She had like eye squiggles that wouldn't go away, and started getting headaches, and
It was a mini
eye
stroke.
doctor, and the eye doctor's like, I think you're having a stroke. You need to go to the hospital.
Oh,
So So it's like trying to watch scrambled cable TV in one of her eyes, and it never stops. Like she can close her eye, but it's still like scrambled cable. So yeah, she had to get used to sleeping like that. I mean, it is what it is. But I've always liked going to the movies, and now she doesn't want to go. And
I always went to the movies when I was young. I did 2 movies every time I went to the movies, and I usually went to the movies twice a week.
yeah,
My mom was a bingo-holic, and she just sent me to the movies while she went to bingo. At that time, I could get into an R-rated movie because I was over 12, which is really weird, but okay, you know.
yeah.
Definitely wasn't going to complain at that time. I don't think I have this pencil in the description box. So, general layout extra black for anyone that cares. Last time I said anyone cares, I got a death threat. I'm going to be milking that one.
Well, I had a student last year threaten to get his dad and beat me up. And I was just like, you're going to get your dad? This is a junior in high school. And I'm just, you're really going to play the I'm going to get my dad card?
Like, you don't think I've played this game before.
It's really hard to discipline someone when they've made you laugh that hard.
Right? When I first was taking martial arts, this kid, I was a white belt and he was a black belt. He was like 1/3 my size or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Flex the pencil sharpener, so hold on a second. And he was all like, I'm a black belt and all this. And I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. And then he tried to swing on me, and we were on the side of the Y where we were taking the classes, on the side of the hill. So I put my finger right behind his ear where his jaw meets his ear and pushed in. And he fell down, and I just kind of held him like that, kicking and screaming, and I'm like, you're a black belt. Like, you're assuming that you know everything because I am the white belt in this style. You're assuming that I don't know anything coming into it. You're assuming wrong.
Oh, yeah. I always, even as a black belt, there was one guy in our class, he was coming from the military, he was an MP, or he had been an MP, and there are certain things he knew how to do that I was just like, well, I will just learn from you. It'll be okay. I was smart enough to recognize that there's more than just what we teach. So
right, and particularly in the military, they teach a foreshortened form of the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh.
So that's just interesting that I know that certain branches of the military have, especially like military police, have a really foreshortened version of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like, don't get me wrong, they're not like expert or brown belts or whatever the highest belt is in Jiu-Jitsu when they're done, but it's made to quell certain situations quickly.
right.
One of the guys that teaches special forces was Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah.
But he's not teaching full Jeet Kune Do. He's teaching quick response, unexpected hits, blows, and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to get into a hand-to-hand fight if you're in the special forces. What you want to do is get past that to get your objective. You want to fight just enough to get to your gun, because the gun does the fighting for you. And like we were talking about before, a gun is a great equalizer, so it makes it so that you don't have to know martial arts. You don't have to be a very strong person.
That's one of those things I never understood when people are just rabid anti-gun. I'm like, what do you have against women? It's not fair to them.
Anti-gun is all about it's not gun control, it's people control.
Well,
If
okay.
they're so adamant to get rid of a gun, like that AR-15, for instance, they're preaching that it's something it's not. The AR-15 shoots the most common ammunition. There are at least 4 different rifles that are the same thing, only they don't look like machine guns.
Right.
An AR-15 is not a machine gun. The AR platform is used in M16 and MP3s or whatever. It's not MP3s. My head's going off in a different direction, but that AR platform, that is used in automatic weapons, but an AR-15 is not an automatic weapon. It does not have an automatic option. It fires once every time you pull the trigger. It just has a pistol grip and a forward grip, so you have easier targeting. But like the Mini 14, which is a different gun company, looks like your traditional bolt-action rifle. It still has a cartridge that feeds into the bottom of the rifle. It just doesn't look like an M16. It doesn't have a forward grip that you can hold vertically. And yeah, that's like that whole telescoping stock. What the hell difference does it make in the firing of a weapon and the speed of what that weapon can fire if the stock can fit both husband and wife?
Yeah.
Because that's all the telescoping stock does, is it makes it available for you to teach your kids to shoot a firearm, teach your wife to shoot a firearm, or vice versa. Your wife teach you to shoot, you know. I've seen it both ways, so it's just kind of an idiotic thing, and it's like, oh, it's scary. Oh, that gun's used in more crimes than any other gun. Well, no shit, it's the biggest selling fucking gun in the country. Well, what do you expect? Is the most common guns going to be used in more crimes? No, the rarer ones are supposed to be used in more crimes, right?
Yeah. Actually, there was a kid in, I think it was Gas City or around there, which is
Where?
Well, it's basically a suburb of Marion. Just trust me.
Okay.
Where I live.
I just asked where you said, because I didn't hear it.
Gas City.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it anyway. So.
Yeah, I don't know why you would have. But,
well, I heard of Marion, and Marion's not big.
no, it's not. But some kid got, like, some 12-year-old got, like, pulled up, like he was running from the cops on his bike, and they found him with a fully automatic machine gun.
Oh man.
And it's like, and then people are like, well, that's why we need more gun control. I'm like, that was already illegal, and I don't know how the hell the kid got a hold of it. So, like, it didn't make any sense that it's like you've already shown gun control doesn't work by the fact that this guy has a gun, which is clearly illegal.
There's well over 200 gun laws already.
Yeah.
And none of them have done shit to stop all the violence. Because it's a misnomer to say gun violence, and that's what people are missing. You're not going to stop the gun violence because it's not gun violence, it's violence. If you take away the guns, they'll find someone else to do it. Look at England, the UK. Look at what they did. They took away the guns, and what happened? Then they started taking away the knives. Then they started taking away sticks. Now you can't walk around with a fork or whatever. You know, it's like anything that you could possibly hurt somebody with. Mommy's protecting you.
Which is
incredibly
anti-woman.
They've got cameras. Yeah, right? Oh, don't even get me started on that, because there are literally girls that are 12 and 13 that have been found in the Thames, that have been raped and murdered and dumped in the Thames. And because a minority or a refugee did it, there's no charges pressed. It's fucking disgusting what's happening in the world like that. And to excuse it's even worse. And then to say it's gun violence or whatever. like now you can't carry a steak knife around in England. You can't have a knife in England. You can't have a pocket knife in England. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And they have got cameras, like I was saying, they got cameras in like London. You can't hide behind a dumpster and smoke a cigarette without them knowing what brand it is. It's pretty
The
bad.
thing is, all them rules are only good for the people who abide by the rules. You know what I'm saying? The
Absolutely.
violence shit is not people going out there and getting a license for this shit. Not people going about it properly.
That's
These are
exactly right.
people getting guns and all this shit out on the street where there's no 3 days you gotta wait. You fucking show the cash here, I'll get you what you want. It might be a little dirty, but here you go.
Well, and that's what Brett was saying, that that the laws are already in place.
Yeah.
There's over 250 gun laws already in place. So what are you going to stop? Now they're attacking semi-automatics now, but they don't understand. The general public don't understand that what a semi-automatic means is that it's magazine fed and it fires one time every time you pull the trigger. That's why it's semi-automatic, because it's fed another shell in between.
I tried to explain that.
If you take away semi-automatics, all you're left with is shotguns, or like the Liberator pistol that they dropped on France, which is like a one-shot gun, disposable gun. It would be just a one-shot gun. That's it. Like the most you could have would be a pump-action shotgun. But that's no different than an automatic. It's just that, or semi-automatic. It's just that it has an internal cartridge. It has an internal magazine. So you load the pump with 9 shells or 6 shells or whatever it holds, and that's the magazine. It's loaded. Then when you pump it, it's cocking the magazine. It's pulling one in from the magazine. It's no different. It's just the way it's set up.
I tried to explain to my mother what a semi-automatic weapon meant, and she just refused to listen to me. That's not what it means. I'm like, that is literally what it is. Just, no, it isn't.
You get people like Stephen King that are all like, there's no need for a... He literally said, there's no need for anyone to have an AR-15 unless you want to throw as many rounds downrange as fast as you can. Like, you're a dipshit. You're not talking about an automatic weapon because those are illegal. You're not talking about a machine gun, an assault rifle. You're making up a term, assault weapon, which basically is defined anything that's scary looking. It's not an AR-15. AR-15 will only throw bullets as fast downrange as you can pull the trigger. Guess what? It's the same thing if you use a 1911, which people have been calling it automatic, the 45 automatic for years, but it's not, it's semi. And it's got 6 shots in it, but you can put that 6 shots downrange just as fast as you can put a full magazine of AR-15 rounds downrange, because they shoot just as fast as you pull the trigger. And if you can pull the trigger fast, which Gary Michalik fired, and this is out of a revolver. He fired 6 shots on 3 targets, reloaded and fired 6 more. Oh no, 2 targets, and fired 6 more on those 2 targets in less than 2 seconds or something like that.
Wow.
It was like bam, 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 bam. Let me see if I can look it up. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, but he fires fast. He's the record holder. 8 shots. 8 shots in 1 second, and the reload.
Damn.
Damn it! Clicked the wrong button. see. Pause. Music on full volume. And I'll share this on screen. It is really amazing. Screen. All right. Jerry Mitchell. That's not Jerry Mitchell. Speed record. Are you seeing this? I gotta. Yep. Okay. Nope, you're not.
No.
Okay. So.
It's not playing.
Yeah, no, I paused it because that's the wrong one. So I'm gonna ditch this screen because I opened it up in a different tab.
Okay.
And I've just got to present the right tab. That's all.
Is that a hat with fake hair
What's that?
next to the cow?
No.
What is that?
Just a hat with a skeleton middle finger on it.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
Because you got to watch, otherwise you'll miss it.
Wow.
Damn.
Who's
Yeah,
faster,
fucking
him or a
yeah.
machine gun?
He should probably be illegal.
Yeah.
He's a competition shooter. He's actually a an instructor. That's not the only record he holds, I'm sure, but he shoots for Smith and Wesson.
Ow. My butt.
Shotgun speed loading record. Let's see.
So we're clear. As you can see, that went pretty slick. There's a lot of things there that are very important, and when you combine them, it makes for a very good relay.
Here we go. I have to start it over. This is a shotgun. And then reload.
Whoa! I know what you're thinking, guys. Let me clear this thing out. Did he shoot 5 or did he shoot 6? One thing about a shotgun, it doesn't matter how much you hold in the magazine, even though this one's set up to hold 17 rounds. The big thing is how to get ammunition in it quicker. If you want to win a shotgun match, loading it is probably just as important as actually shooting it. So we come up with different ways to do that. And this one is equipped with a speed loader chute. I'm empty. Give you an idea what that looks like. So when I load, all I need to do is grab one of these speed loaders. Give you a little demo here. Keep it on your shoulder, do this, and I got 4 back in it, and I'm ready to play. So was that good or what?
Unless you're standing down the other end of it.
Yeah, really.
No, I mean, he's talking about skill, and and he actually, when they were talking about bump stocks
Yeah.
and making bump stocks illegal, he got a bump stock just to see, and it actually slowed him down.
Oh, yeah.
It got in his way. So I guess it's just proving the myth or something, because yeah, it was crap. But yeah, so That's not an automatic. That's one time pulling the trigger. That how fast is his trigger hand? And that dude's not young. So that's it's all crap. Like saying that that's a machine gun. It's not a machine gun. It's a guy that can machine gun with his hand. Wow, I missed the whole left, her whole left side pretty much. Got into a rush.
All right.
Hopefully this channel ends up becoming more entertaining than just me painting and people watching paint dry.
What are you talking about? We've had a very in-depth discussion about all kinds of fun things.
Yeah, we had 2 viewers as far as I can tell at max, and now we have 0. We'll find our crowd, maybe, or find out that we don't have a crowd.
I think you need to make Myrna's party cheese dip or whatever the hell it is and try it on screen.
There you go,
Everyone loves
man.
that.
Make what?
Let me see. Let me look it up. See if I can look it up. Hold on. Party. Aunt Myrna's party cheese salad.
All right, cheese salad sounds good.
It is a video that my son is enamored with, and it's got Jello in it. It's got
Can't be all
celery
bad.
in it.
There's always room for Jello.
Yeah. I mean, it's. Oh. Here, let me see if I can find the actual the list. 2 small or 1 large lemon or lime Jello, medium-sized can of crushed pineapple, 8 ounces of cream cheese, 1 green bell pepper, 1 jar of pimento, half cup chopped celery, 8 ounces of Cool Whip, half cup of nuts, and then half to 3/4 cup shredded American cheese.
Hot cup of
American
Yeah.
cheese.
That actually sounds like it'd be pretty good.
Are you kidding me? Green pepper with whipped cream?
Yeah,
Or Cool Whip?
dude, man, different flavors that like I've had flavors that you wouldn't even fathom putting together. And you put them together, and it's like, why hasn't anybody tried this? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's weird to
Pineapple
me.
and green pepper and Cool Whip.
Yeah. I've had what was it? It was jalapeno jelly.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I mixed.
That's
that-
something that you wouldn't think would go together.
Right. And you mix it with cream cheese and fucking different kinds of cheeses, and it's fucking awesome, dude. You get your cheddar in there, get you a little bit of Swiss, some provolone. This shit's pretty good. Makes a hell of a dip.
Here you go. I'll put the link in our private chat,
Well,
and then if you want it, you can go ahead and make it. Enjoy it.
yeah, we'll eat it on. I'll eat it online. We'll be like,
There you go.
oh yeah, man. I'm going to keep that right
2 weeks from now. What happened to Joe? Oh, well, his stomach exploded.
He tried a recipe and he shit
Well,
himself to death. You know.
As I can witness that Joe has survived some stuff as far as eating. I have as well.
I'm a survivor.
Let's see if this eraser probably won't fix. I love this pencil, but for some reason I can't find the replacement eraser for it.
What company makes it?
Pentel. You think it'd be, pretty easy to find, but it is
Look
not.
it up online, maybe.
I have. That's why I ordered all these erasers that are not the right size. Because they claim to be the right size, and then they get here and they're not the right size. They are the right size for my electric eraser, but
Man, I gotta eat something more than fucking donuts today. That's all I've eaten today.
donuts.
Yeah.
And we ate Chinese. I ate so much of stuff. Eli
hungry
got
again?
so much on his plate on his second time. He had like 3 bites of stuff, and then he was all like, "Nope, all done."
Shit.
But he had this huge pile on his plate.
Hell yeah.
On Tuesday, we went to I took my sons to a buffet down in Indy, and there was this, I don't know what, it was kind of like kung pao chicken, but they just said it was spicy chicken.
Mhm.
And I got a little bit of it, and I was like, it's got a weird, it's got a seasoning in there, something that was just not to my liking. But I didn't have that much, not a big problem.
Right.
My son sees that it's spicy chicken, decides he wants a huge glob of it, and I kept trying to get him to taste mine before he went, but no, he wouldn't do that.
Mm.
And so they got this big glob, took about 2 bites, he's like, that doesn't taste right. I'm just like, I told you.
That's why I said try mine first.
Right? Do they ever listen?
No.
They don't believe us, is what it is.
Yeah.
We are not believable entities to our children because they know us and we fuck with them.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you fuck with your kids, I fuck with my kids. That's kind of the joy of raising them, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We went to this German restaurant in Columbus, Ohio. We had seen it on Man vs. Food,
All right.
So we decided to drive over and see it. And they had jars of horseradish on the table as a condiment. And I told my younger son, I go, I will give you a bright, shiny quarter if you eat a tablespoon of that. He's like, all right. So he takes the taste of it. He does it. And then he looks at me and he goes, that hurts. Just,
Oh, yeah. Cleared your
Oh.
faces, though, didn't it?
yeah.
When,
Oh, yeah, man.
when our oldest son was about, I don't know, maybe 3. Yeah, I think he was 3 because I think Kate was still in the baby basket.
Okay.
We were having dinner with a friend and we were making Mexican food, and we like hot food. Like, Amanda likes medium hot, whatever. I don't know what that is, but we like really, really hot food. So, and at the time, there wasn't really ghost peppers and stuff like that. So we grabbed like 3 or 4 habaneros and chopped them up and cooked them in with the meat. And Logan has never been afraid of food, obviously. So we gave him a little bit, right? And he put a spoonful in his mouth, and it was about 2 seconds later, he's literally trying to wipe it off of his tongue. And he's like, hug. He's telling me he wants a hot dog. He don't want that shit. It's too hot for him. We took him to a smorgasbord, and it doesn't even exist anymore. But the first time he saw a cherry tomato, he was all like, ball, and threw it right across the restaurant.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I was teaching him that whole, like, if you turn your spoon upside down and tap on the end, it'll flip over. He does it on the edge of his table, flips it over, it goes behind him, and we could hear it landing some dude behind his cup. It was like a perfect shot. He never could have done it if he tried, but it was flash, and we just looked around like, who did that?
Go!
Yeah, it was funny. Kids, you can do things when you have kids that you normally can't get away with.
I don't know. I get away with a lot of shit. But yeah, I got away with a lot of shit bringing Leah up. We used to go to restaurants and like get a whole bowl full of lemons, and we'd have a race to see who could eat more.
Yeah.
That was always fun. Good times. Good times. Oh shit.
Now, if I was teaching me the tattoo, I'd smack my hand. Missed so much stuff on this stencil. I never would have let myself tattoo somebody. Well, the trick with stencils is you can't really see what you're doing. But that's kind of a trick with tattooing also, because while you're tattooing, you've got a big puddle of black ink. You have to know where your stuff is. Of course, you can wipe it off and see it, but I always used to use stenciling as a test before they were ready. I'd know they were ready if they could stencil pretty cleanly. I'm out of practice, and it sure is. Of course, in my defense, I haven't had to literally stencil a pattern in a long time. I usually just draw stuff on people.
Really?
But it's not a good defense, because if that's the way I teach people, I should be able to do what I'm teaching them.
Right.
Well, that's like last week I was at that conference and they made us write an essay. And like, here's a prompt, you got 40 minutes, go. And so I stopped and did the outline like I teach my students. And I got near the bottom of the outline and decided the whole thing was kind of like, the last part was good, the rest of it was kind of boring. So I was like, well, you know, I would never tell my students to do this, nor would I tell them to write what I wrote. But I was like, yeah, at least I'm going to have fun with this. And like, I can recognize all the risks that I'm taking. I can recognize how I'm breaking my own rules. You know, just because I know, you know, I've done it for long enough. So I don't mind the fact that I started off the way I would always tell my students, but when I got to a point where I realized, oh, this is all boring except for this part right here, you got to be good enough to recognize, you know, when you got something good, and not just go with whatever you've been trained with.
Right.
Well, you know, I actually look at it like, and it applies to art, writing, or whatever, in a way that you don't judge yourself by what somebody else can do, or you don't try to put yourself in any particular place because of what somebody else can do. You put yourself in the place of what you can do.
Yeah.
And particularly with art, I don't paint like somebody else. Like, I'm trying different styles just because I like the idea of it being a challenge and there being different styles to try. And I might find something that works for me better than what the style I use is. But the style I use still keeps coming through, because that's what I've been doing. That's the way I do. It's the same thing. I think it's the same thing with writing. Like, when you write, you don't write to be perfect the first time. You write to get the idea out, right? You write to get the idea out, and then get the idea of how many characters and what their characters are and whatever twists are going to pop up. If you're discovery writing, especially, it's not the first time you're expecting to edit. You can make an outline, but you don't have to stick with it. It's a roadmap, right? So, like, as long as you have a roadmap, you can go off-road and check some stuff out. But it's all in your style. It's all in the way you want to show it, your lens. It's the same with art and writing. You're always going to have a recognizable style, whether you get to be ultra realistic or not. The things that you look at and the things that you like and the things that you want to present always will come through. So I wouldn't be hard on myself if this is not like Michael Whelan. I don't expect it to be like Michael Whelan. I just want to draw some influence from Michael Whelan, or try a little bit of what I read on his site for a style. He changes styles with every painting, so, you know, why should I be afraid to, right?
Right.
I'm not judging myself by him. I'm just saying, you know, this is a pretty cool idea, laying it out this way and working from back to front or whatever. I realized one of the problems that I had with what I was doing for the sky and how it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, because I didn't read enough into what his method was to realize that he uses a different kind of brush for that. And the reason he does is because it has a smoother texture. He leaves a smoother texture. This stuff leaves a thicker texture. And some gesso board or some weather conditions and some other things will affect how that hits. So, like, I guess it directly relates to what you're saying, writing wise, and you're saying you're not doing what you're teaching or whatever, but your style may not be that, like, in honesty, or you may change styles like I do all the time when I'm writing. If I'm writing a flash fiction, generally whatever idea sparks that flash fiction, I can pretty much get done in one day.
Right.
It's not the same if I'm trying to write a short story. Actually, short stories are harder to write for me than novellas, novelettes, and novels, because I just can't end up in that sweet spot. My brain doesn't want to do it.
Oh,
So even if I plot it, I feel like I'm rushing through. You know, I feel like I'm rushing through the plot to get there. I think I'm going to actually end the stream here, even though I didn't get to color anything, because I'm pretty much everything is lined out. And all that I'd be doing would be tweaking the lines anyway. And by the time I got to start coloring, I wouldn't be able to get anywhere. So
Well,
I think I'm gonna end it with a success after scrambling to finish the stuff that I left out, namely the arm and side of the hair and outside of the pauldron, and little things that are important.
right.
I think it's been a fun time and a good discussion.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good night.
I like the idea of having more engaging discussions on here, because even if somebody's not watching, we're still enjoying ourselves. And if somebody is watching, they're getting more than one type of entertainment. They're not just watching me paint or watching me set up and draw or whatever. Cthulhu took 19 different videos for me to finish because I did everything on video.
Right.
I wasn't going to do everything on video here. I was going to do this offline, but I just got later in the day, and I find that today I had a doctor's appointment, so that doctor's appointment cut into the time that I would have been prepping for this. So I got this laid out. You can't see it very well, but I got that laid out before I started, and I'm stenciling light because I don't want to go overly dark, and then I'm not seeing stuff because of the dark stuff. Fortunately, this is all light stuff, like the background here.
Yeah.
And the top of the castle is going to be dark because it's burning, so the light source is going to be at the bottom. There's plenty of room to add and play around. So I'm going to end the stream at 10:30, 2 hours and almost 15 minutes. We can dick around for 3 minutes if you want.
it's a short one.
The sad thing is that I was wanting them to be right around an hour and a half, and I've consigned myself to it being at least 2 hours. So we'll see if anybody watched. I don't really know about it. Saturdays, I think Chad has agreed to come on Saturdays, and I don't know how you are about it, Brett. So you're always welcome, right? Whether it's Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Saturday. Joe, you're always welcome, even though you're having to work, if that changes.
Word.
I'd love to get 3 or 4 people in here aside from us, actually Andrea, who stopped in, talked about might want to stop in on a Saturday and kind of talk a little bit.
There you go.
So
Cool.
the more people, the merrier. The more people that have our different artistic views, whether it be writing, drawing, painting, charcoaling, sculpting, anything really. I mean, I'm not a sculptor. I've done a little bit of work on pumpkins, and I'm getting a little bit better at that. But I actually, this is kind of weird, but I don't know how I feel about trying to learn sculpting, because to me it's graven images.
Okay.
Well, you know, it's the only type of art. I don't think even tattoos are graven image. A lot of people say that it's what's referred to when they're saying marking yourself for the dead. But I think because of the ancient Egyptians painted stuff on their skin, I think that's actually what that was referring to. But it's Old Testament, and we don't really have it clarified. But I'm kind of inquisitive about that, because I don't know if that crosses a line. And I want to cross the least lines I can in that department.
Okay.
Yeah. I end up falling across quite a few, but
Very Bixby.
take a picture, Bixby.
Hey, Bixby.
Take a screenshot.
Screenshot.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that's it for the night.
All right.
Good night. God bless. We love you all.
God
Good
bless.
night. God bless you guys.
Have a great night, man.
Thank you guys for joining me.
Everybody out there, y'all have a great night. Love, peace, chicken grease. Bye.
Bye.